Can you imagine that phone kept on ringing until I got over there? I'll tell you. I don't know how these videos are going to turn out, but depending upon how I edit this, there was a phone just ringing. So anyhow, last problem here, the problems I just did on video, and again, I don't know how I'm going to edit this, but that's all right. I have the third problem here. I got 4x to the third power minus 4x squared minus 8x is equal to 0. I'm going to go ahead and, again, we already make sure it's equal to 0. We got the equal to 0 right there. We're happy about that. A little bit easier to solve that way. And I want to check for a GCF. So when I check for a GCF, I do the coefficients first here. 4, negative 8. Are there numbers that, or any number, and in fact, the biggest number that's divisible into those three coefficients, and 1 would work, but it's prime, don't worry about that. 2 would work, but also the number 4. 4 is the largest of those numbers. So for the coefficients, we're happy with the number 4 out in front for the GCF. And then we take a look at the variables, and do they have variables in common? There's x to the third power, there's x squared, there's x. I said the phrase x each time, so there is in fact a greatest common factor for the variables. The greatest amount that appears in each of them is x. So we'll have 4x as our GCF. I'm going to go ahead and pull that out and divide it up. 4x to the third power divided by 4x would be x squared. Negative 4x squared divided by 4x would be negative 1x. Negative 8x divided by 4x would be negative 2. Got our GCF out, and inside the parentheses there we have x squared minus 1x minus 2, so we still have more work to be done here. Why did we have that? Because it still looks as if it's in standard form in the parentheses here. It does not currently look like it's in intercept form, so at least we can try the ABC method here. And in this case, don't get very large with our numbers. The A value is 1, the B value is negative 1, and the C value is negative 2. Trying to figure out what are those factors of C that add to B. Not going to have too many factors here because negative 2, and it is negative 2, that's important to note. We would have 2 and negative 1, and negative 2 and positive 1. And that's as far as we can go with factoring that C value there. 2 plus negative 1 would be positive 1. Not good. We want negative 1. Negative 2 plus 1 would be negative 1 when we add them up. When we multiply it out, it'd be negative 2. It is a factor of C that add to B. So again, I'm going to go ahead and put them both in these parentheses, make it look like it's intercept form. Cannot forget that GCF out in the front. We started the problem with it, don't forget it. 4x is going to be out in the front here. And each of these factors will in fact be included in the zero product property, trying to figure out final solutions to this equation. So I do my ZPP. I got 4x is equal to 0, x minus 2 is equal to 0, x plus 1 is equal to 0, and from that my three solutions would be x is equal to 0, x is equal to 2, and x is equal to negative 1. All three of those numbers, if we took those numbers separately, of course, and plug them into the original equation, we would have an equation where it would say 0 is equal to 0. A lot of factoring to be done there. That was a combination of both our GCF and our ABC methods in order to solve quadratic equations, and actually some cubic equations as well when we brought in exponents of 3.